And we are back, and I think we're all situated and back on track and ready to go.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
At least I'm not in front of the control board anymore.
This is still Local Biz Now. We have not been taken off the air. Where your business matters. Wayne, introduce our next guest, because this is really, I was really excited when I saw this information the other day that we were going to have him on the air, because this is just the future, man. I mean, the world's getting smaller, and this is just this is good stuff.
Yeah, we've got a different kind of business today, and we're really pleased to have two gentlemen here. One's Marcela Ferreira. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Not bad, huh? And Henna Sandala.
That was very close.
All right. Very close.
Don't say very, just say wrong.
No, it was okay. It was okay.
No, Joe likes to, dig. Anyway, they're with the Fertrading Group, and it's a really neat service business involving international. I'm not going to try to describe it. Tell us what you do, how long you've been doing this, and why.
Okay, Fertrading Group, it's an international trading company, and we have been doing this kind of business since 1995. I'm originally from Brazil, and we moved to U.S. to develop international markets. And
by the way, he told me don't talk about soccer.
Yes, that's the only condition that I imposed before the interview. Anyway, so what we do, we try to help importers and exporters to develop business internationally. We have a lot of experience into this field. We have an office in Brazil where we can help also exporters, manufacturers in the U.S. that they want to introduce their business to Latin America. And we also have offices in China where we can assist importers to, bring goods into the U.S.
Okay, so, let's back up a little bit, okay? So the way I understand your business, any size business, large or small, if they want to get a product into the States or out of, you can help them do that.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
For example, I've invented this small little thing, and I need somebody to manufacture it. Can you help me source that manufacturing and then get it back to the States?
Yes, we can. That's exactly what we can do. We have been doing business, especially talking about manufacturing nowadays. A lot of companies are going through Asian markets, so China, it's a good way to start when you want to. A lot of large corporations nowadays are producing overseas, but also the vision is also to help American companies to export and to reach other markets internationally. We have a network of representatives spread over in Latin America. So we have contacts in different countries like Argentina, Chile, Colombia, Peru, Venezuela, you name it. And so the goal is to take manufacturers that they want to get into new markets, having people that speaks the language, they know their business culture in each country, and we have a way to identify reliable companies that we can introduce their products.
So you have representatives in the various countries.
Correct.
That people, feet on the ground, so to speak,
yes.
to help you with this. In terms of what you offer U.S. companies, so you could help them export their products, correct, potentially, and you could also help them maybe import either things that they could resell, correct, or pieces of what they might have to manufacture or something like that.
Yes.
Does that capture it?
Like components, like raw materials. So let's suppose that you need to, be more competitive. Nowadays, everyone is looking for, decrease their manufacturing costs to be able to be more competitive and more profitable. That's where the kind of expertise that we have acquired. We can identify reliable sources and bring to our customers this possibility to, develop business in a much clearer way,
Now Marcella, I'm sorry, Wayne. Marcella, I'm curious. I'm a small business. Maybe I only need 500 of something. I mean, do I have to buy a truckload or an entire ship of this stuff?
No, that's something. It's a good question. A lot of people think that.
I know it's a good question, but Wayne was laughing at me. But it is a good question.
When we're dealing internationally, a lot of companies, they are afraid to go to that route because they think I have to buy a whole container. But nowadays, of course, depending on the product, but we can bring like what we call LCL cargo, like it's less than container loaded. So we can bring one skid of goods, and of course, depends on the item. There are minimum quantities to be produced required by the manufacturers, but That's exactly what happens. A lot of companies, they are afraid to go internationally because they don't have this knowledge. They don't know how to approach vendors. And we have created a system where we are going to show to our customers all the options that we have in our hands, and together we are going to recommend the best options, and we're going to be assisting them since the beginning stage.
You know, I want the business people listening to hear this, because there's two angles to this that up until now they just haven't done because they've been scared. Number one, they're scared to death because they just don't understand it.
Correct.
But number two, they know there's corruption just riddled throughout this process. So without you, there's no way they're going to get their product or get it to where they want to go. But there are absolutely tons of foreign markets for products that a local guy might be making here. Okay. I mean, I could list 5 or 6 small businesses that we've had on the air that have a small little retail store in Mooresville. Remember the chopping block guy and things like that. If they were just to make contact with you, you could open up markets for them that they would have never thought of doing. That's true. Plus, they probably can get them made a lot cheaper than making them as well. So I want the small business person to hear this, that there really is this, what you provide is this opportunity for small business owners that otherwise they wouldn't be able to compete with a larger guy.
Correct. No, it's also important to mention that since our company, we have established what we call a NeoTrade concept, our company is going to refer to the customer different options, and we're going to be charging a non-commission fee that is established at the beginning of the negotiation in a way to show the customer the advantage. Instead of, for example, let's suppose that you are a small business and you want to start importing from China. You need to spend a lot of time and money, take a plane, fly there. There is the risk of the trip. You need to identify reliable sources. And after that, sometimes you are in a trade show, you find some nice companies, but the reality sometimes is not exactly what they are showing. So we have people there that we go and we visit the factories. We kind of provide to the customer the peace of mind that the sources that we are identifying are reliable. So that's something that our company brings to the market. So you don't need to spend all this time and this money to go there and knock different doors, and simply having our business doing all the service to you. And you simply pay us a commission over the transaction amount, which you believe to be a very innovative and attractive business model.
Mm-hmm. Now, you've been involved in this type of business for a while, but I think your company has just started, has it not? Do you see some special thing going on right now that you think this is a perfect opportunity?
Yeah, actually, just to clarify, the company by itself has been in business since 1995. The NeoTrade concept that I call it was established by the end of 2013. In October of 2013, we came with what we call a NeoTrade concept, and with this kind of new way of approaching the international market. But answering our question, we have a lot of business history. Our main goal was always looking towards Latin America due to our network that we have over there. And we were waiting to reach a business level to start approaching U.S. companies that are intending to import. Now we have acquired a lot of experience, and it has come the right moment to approach U.S. market, offering our service to importers as well. We always work with U.S. Manufacturers buying goods and shipping overseas. But that's
Marcella, do me a favor. There are a lot of small business people out there listening that are thinking, "Oh, he brings up this interesting, totally new way I can consider my business." How can they get in touch with you?
We have our website, which is www.fertradinggroup.com. Our work number is 704-782-2201.
Do that one more time, because this is radio.
Sure. It's www.fertradinggroup. It's FERTRADING group, GROUP.com. And our phone number is 704-782-2201.
And I'm looking at your website, and you've got things that I have no idea what they mean. Virtual bridge communication. What does that mean?
That's something that we really start investing this year. It's a system that if you go to our website, and I recommend you to watch, we have 3 videos that can give a pretty good idea about what is our system. Basically, virtual bridge communication is a system that we developed that we have what we call an intranet area in our website, which, everything is done automated. So the rep goes visit your company. You tell the rep what you are looking for. They upload information to the website, and then automatically the quotes are going to our purchasing department in US and in Asia. So then we do everything online and a way to to have a much clearer way to do business with the customer, getting all the information as fast as possible. So
right.
That's what I call this VBC.
Okay.
Now, if a business is listening, what would you say to them in terms of them trying to understand whether you have something they ought to talk to you about or not?
I believe the uniqueness of our business is the transparency. When we decide to do, just to give an idea, if you go to an international trading company, they try to build a wall between manufacturer and you as the importer, and you don't know normally who the manufacturer is, the real cost of the goods. And with Fertrading Group, we are going to have all the information, all the guidance, and assisted by our company in the best way that we can to help you to achieve your goals.
Okay. I'm curious. How do you sort of? I've got some friends that travel to do this, and the corruption is just unbelievable. They'll ship themselves something, and when they get there to go pick it up, they got to pay off a guy just to get their own box. How do you work through all of that? Because it's just got to be just horrible to make commitments knowing that there's somebody else that's going to fill them out.
Sure. That's when we are exporting overseas, of course, the importer they normally are helped by their customs broker, so they are the ones that are coordinating all the import process. From the export side, what we do, we normally hire inspection companies that they're going to identify that if we bought 10,000 pieces of this item, those 10,000 pieces are loaded on the container or in the air shipment, whatever the situation is. So what we try to do with the network that was developed within these 19 years, we try to protect our customers, and also our vendors. So,
right. What about the finances? Do you manage that and hold that? How does that work?
Normally, what we do, it's depending, again, how large the deal is. We are going to, act as a bridge between the manufacturer and you as the importer, or vice versa if we are exporting. When we deal international, the manufacturers, they normally specify their terms, their payment conditions, etc., and everything's going to be discussed case by case. But normally, since the customer is going to have access to the real cost of the goods and paying us a commission, what we try to do in this business concept is we are going to be assisting you as the customer, but the negotiation is going to be done with the manufacturer assisted by us. So the financial by itself, sometimes the vendor can even grant terms to the customer depending on their size, etc. So
is this mostly U.S. dollars or?
Yeah. We always do this, despite the fact that we do internationally. We always try to make our transactions with U.S. dollars, even when we are dealing with European vendors. Then nowadays most of them are euro currency.
Right.
We request them to bill us in U.S. dollar, and then we do all the transaction that way.
Right. Wayne, I think it's time for you to ask him. I think you kind of answered it already, but it's time to ask him your question.
Well, we always ask everybody, despite the fact you may not think like you have much competition, if someone's looking to get involved in international business, why should they come to you rather than your competitors?
Because first of all, we are going to be helping them with. There is no greedy in our business system because the customer knows all the steps related to the negotiation, different than my competition. Our competition, they normally, as I said, they try to create a wall and avoid you as the importer know who the manufacturer is, the real cost of the goods. And we have the intention to develop business in what we call a win-win philosophy. So it's good for the importer, it's good for the manufacturer because we're not adding up, making their product expensive. And it's a situation that all the parties involved needs to be benefit. That's what we believe that business should be done in that way.
Fantastic. So we're talking fair trading, Fertrading Group.
Yeah. Give them a phone number.
704-782-2201.
No greed, just speed. You like that?
Joe likes to come up with a little...
Guys,
that's great.
Thank you so much for coming in. We've got to get you back because I know there is a ton more stuff we can talk about and get into. And Wayne and I want to talk to you. We're putting together a small business certification program, and international is just a big question that a lot of small business people have. So we'd like to get you involved in that again.
I appreciate
Thank
that.
you, gentlemen. Thank you both for showing up.
Thank you,
We really
sir.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
And next time we'll let Sidekick be able to talk. We didn't even ask him a
course.
question.
Sorry
He was here
about
for
that.
moral support.
I talk a lot. So.